What's up you crazy people, thank you so much for tuning back in, and in this video I'll be running you through the ultimate tier list for all of the weapons in the Rogue Company coming in season 1. Now because weapons have different classes, SMG, assault rifles and DMR, I thought it won't be fair to compare a SMG to an assault rifle, so I thought it would be best in this video I'll only be focusing on assault rifles. I added the Mamba that could actually fall into the DMR or assault rifle class in the list as well, and because there's not enough LMGs in the game, I decided to add the MAW from Anvil on the list as well. We have a total of 7 weapons on this list, and to start off, I don't think any weapon is OP or that needs a nerf, or do I think any weapon is too weak and actually needs a buff. I've rated all the weapons based purely on the stats on paper, and at the end of the video I'll give you my personal favorite weapon, and you might get a surprise as they are actually not the top tier weapons. Every person might have a different opinion what weapon works best for them depending on their playstyle, but for this tier list we'll be focusing on the actual stats of the weapons and how they get rated on the top of the tier list. We'll be focusing on 5 main aspects to determine their class rating: damage, rate of fire, handling, reload speed and range. And for each of these categories they'll be rated on a scale of 1 out of 7 depending how they compete versus each other. For example, if you have the Nightshade that has the lowest range, I will give him a score of 7. And then example the Mamba that has the highest range, we will give him a score of 1. At the end of the scoring cycle, we'll tally up all the scores. The weapons with the highest score will get rated lowest on the tier list, and the weapons with the lowest score will get rated the highest on my tier list. Remember, if you like this guide and you want to see more, would greatly appreciate it if you guys can leave a like and smack a sub on our channel, and you'll stay updated whenever more of this awesome content drops. I stream 4 days a week and drop 2 videos every week. Okay, so let's jump into the actual tier list. Starting from the bottom, in the B tier, the MAW LMG from Anvil takes the B spot. Although this is one of my favorite weapons that just goes brrr and pumps out bullets and doesn't stop firing, even with the highest rate of fire, and can actually laser at any distance. The reload time and all the other stats is just not good enough to compete versus the rest of the assault rifles. Moving on to the B plus tier, we have 2 weapons in this category: the KA-30 from Dima and Ronin and the HRM from Dallas. Both had the same score. Personally, I prefer the KA-30 over the HRM due to the rate of fire and handling, but on paper they are pretty even. The KA-30 has no extremely good rating points and also no extremely bad ratings, so just average all around, where the HRM has 2 strong points and 2 weak points, so they basically cancel out each other and place it in the average weapon slot. It might have the fastest reload speed and the most damage, but it also has the worst handling and the slowest rate of fire. Moving on to the A tier weapons, the Nightshade from V and Phantom takes the A spot, although it has the weakest range, but the rate of fire being the second highest in the game, just behind the LMG, followed by having some above average stats for handling and damage, slots this weapon in the A tier list. Solid accuracy and high rate of fire is key elements for this weapon. Moving on to the A plus weapons, there's only one weapon in this category, and this is the new weapon from Kestrel, the Riptide. Same like the KA-30, it doesn't have any negative points to break it down. It basically has above average on all the stats and even outperforms the KA-30 on pretty much everything besides damage, where it's just 1 point behind, and in also handling, where it's 5 points behind, but still very close to the KA-30. But I would rate this weapon slightly above the KA-30, especially with the longer range, reach and the faster rate of fire. And then finally, moving on to the S tier weapons. There are 2 weapons in this category. Both might be unexpected to a lot of people out there and might not be used as much as they should be. And I'm sure in season 1, one of them will be used a lot more than usual. First, we have the Mamba that is currently in the arsenal of Dima and Saint. Only downside to this weapon is its burst fire. But based on the stats, it might have the lowest amount of damage, but it has the longest range and very high handling stats. Rate of fire and reload speed is also very high, so if you can control the burst and tap fire this weapon fast, this weapon has the potential and the fastest time kill in the whole game. Unfortunately, I do not like burst weapons or single tap weapons. I prefer full auto weapons. So this brings me to the next entry in the S class, the weapon that will be receiving a major buff in the next season. Yes, the scope is being removed. This is the MX4 from Saint. It has the best handling in the game, and having the second highest range in the game also helps, making laser beaming someone across the map quite easy. Damage is also above average and the second highest in the game. The rate of fire and reload might be on the slow side, but the combination of all the above stats, this weapon will be my primary weapon of choice for season 1, with the best overall stats and best all-round weapon in the game. Like I mentioned, this tier list is purely based on stats, and every player might have different playing styles that would prefer different weapons. Even myself, my top 3 weapons might not be the top tier weapons, but those weapons that I'm most comfortable with and it fits my playing style. My top 3 weapons is the MX4, the KA30 and the Riptide. Let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite assault rifle, and also what do you think of this tier list. And also I would greatly appreciate it if you can leave a like and also subscribe to the channel to stay updated whenever more of this awesome content drops. This is Mr. Beefy signing off. Mr. Beefy!